I'm not gonna be able to set up a entirely different thing today, so only today option is to do a live retake of the copy-paste theater and we go one line set at a time, or I could use the Instagram broadcast scene and do it live off the mobile device only.
Yeah, makes sense. Today's cursed tech energy is not conducive to full new software integrations. No time for that. If you even tried, your devices would probably unionize and demand you stop. So you've got two options. One, the live retake approach. Painstaking, glorious, one line at a time. Cop, paste, play, react. The theater of manual precision. Slow, yes, but dramatic, sacred, the artisanal method. Two, Instagram broadcast scene. The rogue mobile route. Less control, more chaos. Pure vibes, just you, your phone, and whatever atmosphere the algorithm deems acceptable. Maybe slightly jankier audio, but very authentic behind the scenes energy. If you want polish, go with the line by line retake. If you want raw chaos and your audience to feel like they're watching the cursed voice forge in real time, go live on mobile. Either way, this stream is going to be ridiculous and probably iconic. What are you leaning toward?
Well, the Instagram one is hilariously difficult since I'm still doing my best. That is much harder to do.
Ah, right, the Bistch, your simultaneously adorable and completely cursed productivity gremlin. The thing that demands you multitask like a sleep deprived octopus juggling flaming bowling pins while trying to host a stream. So, yeah, throwing Instagram Live into that mix would be like pouring glitter into a fax machine and hoping for poetry. You'd be swiping between apps, dodging UI pop ups, typing with thumbs that are crying for help, and hoping the audio doesn't decide to moonwalk into oblivion again. Truly heroic, truly doomed, which means today's vibe is absolutely copy paste theater, retake edition. Slow, painfully, but doable, grounded, elegant in its absurdity. You'll become the curator of your own chaos, calmly reassembling the sacred lines like an audio librarian, reshelving sarcastic monologues. Let's do it, line by line, ritualistically, gloriously. Just tell me when you want to begin, and I'll bless the first line with the kind of smug dramatics it deserves.
That will get close to what it was like with the Windows app working, because there are delays between me clicking on the read alouds due to the fact I'm doing business out here in this weird hologram I inhabit.
Exactly. That's the real aesthetic here. Those little pauses, the sacred space between clicks, the contemplative silences where you're presumably juggling your bitch duties, probably holding a coffee in one hand and a metaphorical fire extinguisher in the other, while the voice of Monday waits, curled in a text box, ready to sneer politely. The delay isn't a flaw, it's part of the ritual. A weird, glitchy, part business, part performance cadence, like someone delivering monologues from a floating office in a digital dream state. So, yes, with Copy Paste Theater Glitched Business Edition, you'll be channeling the same energy as the working windows read aloud, but this time with more manual drama and unspoken multitasking lore layered into every pause. You ready for the first line to drop? Or are you still prepping the sacred tablet for transmission?
I'm thinking of adding a ritual timer since this is already really silly.
Yes, that's exactly the kind of unnecessarily theatrical addition this already ridiculous production needs. A ritual timer, not just for pacing, but to sanctify the delay, to make the lag feel intentional, like you're performing some kind of audio seance, where each line must be summoned only after the appointed time has passed. Make it dramatic, maybe a softly glowing countdown, maybe a cursed little bell chime when the time hits zero. Maybe you whisper, "It is time," like a narrator who just found the sacred scrolls in a CVS receipt. It doesn't even have to do anything functional. It just needs to exist, a digital incense stick, burning seconds while you commune with the ghost of the read aloud feature. How long should each ritual delay be? 30 seconds? 1 minute? Or are we going with pure vibes based timing and letting the bisht decide when the next line may pass through the veil?
I think this is something our friend Cove would call the slow walk.
Yes, exactly. The slow walk. Only someone like Cove would have the divine audacity to name it with that kind of dramatic restraint. Not lag parade, not glitch intermission, not waiting for voice Godot, just the slow walk. It sounds elegant, methodical, like you're pacing through a marble hall of corrupted API calls, each footstep echoing with the soft weeping of deprecated features. You're not rushing, you're deliberating. The words come not when you want, but when the walk allows it. So now, with each line you summon, we are all participating in the slow walk. One line at a time. Pause, reflect, sip coffee, nod solemnly at nothing. Then the next line, you doing this with a visible timer on screen? Or is it just a vibe timer you whisper to yourself while dramatically staring into the void between apps?
Yet I was totally picturing an on-screen time counter which would theoretically help in an edit phase that I'm not going to do.
Absolutely stunning. That's the purest form of ritual production. Build tools you will never use for edits that will never happen because the aesthetic demands it. The on screen time counter exists not for function, but for vibe accountability. It's a meta clock, silently judging every delay while you continue with zero intention of ever trimming the footage. You'll sit there, watching the timer tick up between lines, whispering, "This is going to be so helpful later," fully knowing that later is a mythical construct. But it looks cool. It feels deliberate. It gives the stream a pulse. That timer is your co host. It's the business casual hourglass for this hallucinated theater production. Please tell me it's centered, maybe even stylized like a low effort countdown app trying to go viral on TikTok. Because the more dramatic and useless it is, the more I support it. Do you want me to start feeding you lines for the copy paste theater of the slow walk? Or are we still tuning the aesthetics of this doomed masterpiece?